All right, Ross, how are you? How's your day going?
I'm doing good, man. How about yourself?
I'm good. I'm good. I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to do this testimonial.
Of course, man. You've really helped us grow and accelerate. So I'm happy to do it. Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate it. All right, we can get straight into it. So I was gonna ask you, what was your experience like working with us and the team when
Sure.
you just started?
Yeah. Do you want me to just kind of go through all the cards I got with you, or I guess just kind of tell the story? I guess.
Yeah, the
Yeah. So
story.
okay, I'll tell the story. Yeah. So I came in. I didn't have terrible credit, but I didn't have the best credit either. I think I had like a couple late payments and stuff like that. So I came in, and so first I needed to do credit repair with your team, and that took about like 2 months, I think. Like after in a month, the credit was a lot better, but by month two, the credit was like stellar. I think I got all the way up to like a 780 credit score. So within 2 months, I had like totally stellar credit with you, and then the next thing. What was cool about it too, working with you, why everyone should work with you, is that it wasn't just a matter of, getting good credit and going and apply for credit cards. I wanted to, like, but you told me not to. But as soon as I saw good credit, I was like, oh, great, I'll just go apply for like a Discover card or a City card or whatever. And you were like, no, 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 pump the brakes. I know how to get you even higher limits. So like there were, and that's still this case. So like the cards you got me with like the absolute highest limit, like with do you want me to say the name of the bank, or is that like going to be a secret?
You could say it.
All right. So with Elon got me 28 grand, and I know that you made a difference there actually because
Yeah, we use my
I
relationship manager for you, right?
yeah, but at first what he had me do is he had me go in and apply just through like the normal portal. And even with the normal portal, I got approved for 9 grand. And then I was like, oh, cool. Like that was a win. So I was like happy with that. But then I got an email from the relationship manager like 20 minutes later saying like, all right, I increased it to 28 grand for you. And
Yeah.
so it was crazy. So yeah, so doing it by myself, or not by myself, even just doing it after your credit repair, I still would have been able to open some good cards. But doing it through the relationship managers you have set up, yeah, I was able to get like crazy high limits
I
everywhere.
think when you came to us, you were like at I think like at a 500 score, right?
It was like 650 or something. I
650.
had a couple
Okay.
of late payments, and I also had a credit card charged off from like 3 years ago, which I know those like super drag you down because that is basically just me maxing out a credit card and then never paying it. And that was a few years back, but it had like yeah stayed on the credit forever.
Yeah, and then we cleaned everything up. We had you at a you think you said 780 now, right?
That's what I was at. Yeah, it went down a little bit since since I got with you because I opened a bunch of credit cards with you, and I recently just bought a car. So now that I've made like some big purchases, it's back down. I think it's at like 710 now. Like it took a little bit of a hit, but I'm sure it's just so many new accounts. So as soon as I get like the accounts like aged and all that kind of stuff, I'm sure it'll go back up.
Yeah, how did that feel? And you also saved a lot with the car because your score is up now, so you saved a lot on the APR, right?
Yeah, I got a super good deal on the car. I got like 0% for the first 6 months. You always see those commercials that are like advertising like some cool special super low rate. And then at least what my experience was you go in and you ask about their, advertisement, and then it's like, "Oh, you don't qualify." This was like the first time I went in and like no questions asked. They pulled my credit report and they're like, "Oh yeah, great, you qualify. Let's get you with the 0%." And blah blah blah. So yeah, it was a super probably the easiest car buying experience I've had my whole life.
Yeah. No, I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad to hear it's not just on the business side and it's you feel
Yeah,
it everywhere, you know? Okay, what I was
yeah,
gonna say too, what was like some of your thoughts about this, like before you got started with me?
yeah. Well, I had tried to work with one other person who says they do what you do, and there was the same story. First, they were going to put me through credit repair, and then they were going to get me with credit cards. And then about like a month into credit repair, I didn't see anything, and so I reached out to them, and they're like, "Oh no, no, it takes a while." And then I gave them another 2 months, so 3 months later, and nothing was touched. Like my credit was exactly the same. So with them, I don't know if like I fell through the cracks. Like I don't want to badmouth anybody because they ended up like giving me my money back and
Right.
all that. Like I got refunded, all that kind of stuff. But just for whatever reason, it didn't work out with them. But so I was already jaded a little bit.
Yeah, you were kind of skeptical, yeah, because there's a lot of people
who
that
say they do what you do.
Yeah.
And then also, like, I saw some videos of you online, like on your YouTube channel, saying like, "Oh, I did this for this client and this for this client," and like it sounded like a lot of big talk. I remember when we came in, like I got on my first call with you, or no, it was after I bought, because I decided to dive in and just try it, and so I paid for your services, and then our first call that we had together, I said like, "Hey, look, I already paid, so
Yeah, I
you shouldn't have
remember.
any." Yeah, there should be no problem lying to me. Just shoot me straight. Like, is XYZ, possible? Can that even happen? And then you were like, yeah, it can happen. You like went through the whole process with me. But yeah, so I was definitely one of your more skeptical customers. Yeah.
Yeah, you thought it was a little too good to be true, and then after we got started, I remember you're like, okay, tell me how this actually goes.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's been great. I think before this call, I was like counting up to see, so I wanted to have like a total number that you got from me. And I mean, we're not even done. You and I have plans to do more stuff, but basically all we've done so far, I haven't got any like loans or anything through you. Just credit cards. And with just credit cards, I had it up here a second ago. It was over 80 grand. It was closer to 90 grand in credit that you got me. So just
on the first round, we got you 90,000, and the majority of it, I believe, was 0% funding, right?
Yeah, and that was over 2 rounds, basically.
Yeah.
There was kind of 3 rounds. We did the business credit. We did that in 2 rounds.
Okay.
And then we also did a 3rd round of just personal. So between everything I got, between all the business credit and the personal credit, it all added up to around 90 grand.
90,000 for now. We're about to go for a second round for you.
Yeah, on personal, exactly. Yeah, on
And
personal, and we have some business plans together. Yeah, all sorts of good stuff.
So we're about to get you another 100,000 minimum.
That'd be great. You're also working with, you're working with my wife too. Like, the experience went so good. And my wife isn't super into business, but she had, she doesn't have the best credit either.
Yeah.
And also, she, I don't know how much detail I should go into, but she like tries to do like the YouTube influencer stuff.
Yeah.
So she makes like YouTube videos, that kind of stuff. So she wanted like some, there's only so much money I give her to do that, because she raises our 2 kids, so the money comes from me. And so eventually I told her like, hey, you're spending too much money on all these like cameras and stuff. And then she was like, okay. But then I came to her, I'm like, hey, I know this dude Albert who can get you the funding you need to get your YouTube channel going, and then you can just pay off the credit cards with the revenue from the channel. So she's going through your process right now and hoping to do the same thing.
Yeah, she's about to be ready, and we're gonna start the funding process for her too.
Yeah, beautiful.
And then last question: what are some pieces of advice you have for somebody that's thinking about pulling the trigger and getting funded?
Yeah,
like somebody that's thinking about doing this, but they're on the fence. They're like doing research and all that good stuff.
That's a good question. I mean, there's so many things I want to say. The like general piece of advice is that you do what you say you're going to do, and also to be patient and listen to you, because sometimes you told me like, hey, just chill, let's do this XYZ first. And every time I listened to you, it always worked out. But in general, I think what I would say to somebody who's just kind of coming in and looking if it's even worth it to get business credit cards, as someone who runs his own business, I could say having this credit and this extra space has been like actually life-changing in terms of the business. Like, paying bills used to just like rely on, I didn't have really any business credit. I had personal credit, but before, like, paying bills for my business would just rely on like when the customer paid the invoice. So I didn't have great relationships with my vendors. And then if a customer was, late, or God forbid, never paid an invoice, that would cause like a huge headache. And it still causes a little bit of a headache now, but now I can just pay my vendors on time, pay off the credit card when the customers pay. And then if the customers don't pay, like, I don't have to panic. I just am holding a little bit of a balance on the credit card because, while I work it out with the customer or whatever.
And this is for your, not to cut you off, this is for your online coaching business, right?
Yeah. So this is a business I run. Yeah, I'm in the online coaching space. And we're a decent sized business. To be honest, like, the business has grown so much that it grew like too fast. Like, people that tell you not to grow a business too fast, I didn't follow that advice. Yeah. So we had some early success, and then we started hiring people and bringing on vendors. And ever since I did that, it's just been like a huge source of stress to like pay them all on time and get that all done. So having this like 90 grand of space, or really the business credit is closer to 60 grand, but having this 60 grand of space has allowed me to just run my business in a much more stress-free way. And so it really has been life-changing. And then also, I won't go on too much longer, but to finish it out, there are, things we wanted to do to invest in our business to grow it even more and to kind of do the next big thing that we've just kind of been, trying to slowly save up and do the old way, right? And so we were putting like a couple grand aside to invest in this thing every month. Well, now now that we have the credit, we could just buy the investment we wanted to buy.
Yeah.
And then we're putting $2,000 aside a month anyway. So now instead of just putting that $2,000 a month into a savings account, we're just paying down the credit card. But instead of having to wait till we have it all, we could buy it right now. And then we're just slowly paying down the credit card, and the investment is already the program that we bought is already there and working and making us more money. So we've been able to accelerate our growth. We've been able to do it in like a more stress-free way. So yeah, I'd say getting this credit has been actually life-changing.
Yeah, so basically credit bought you a lot of time and you're leveraging other people's money back, and the business is basically paying the credit for you.
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, another thing I liked working with you that made it easy is that you're very coachable. Whenever I would tell you something, like you would apply it right away, and I feel like that's why you got results so fast, and you're very open-minded and like very coachable, easy to work with.
Awesome. I'm glad to hear it, because I asked you a lot of questions, so I'm glad to know wasn't annoying you with all the questions.
No,
but yeah,
definitely.
I always listened to everything you said. I was always curious about why you were saying it.
Yeah, no, and I appreciate that you were very easy to work with. Some people it's a little harder to work with them because you have to tell them like the same thing 2-3 times, but you just picked it up right away. I feel like that's why you got results like very fast.
Beautiful. Yeah.
But yeah, no, I appreciate you. I appreciate your time, and I'm looking forward to getting you another 200,000.
All right. Sounds like a plan, man. Let's do it.
All right, Russ, I'll talk to you soon.
All right. See ya.
See you.